How has the support from each other helped you guys in your respective fields?
It's been really helpful. Yeah. Because it's obviously it's different sports, so it's not exactly the same, but I feel like as a professional athlete, there's a lot of common themes in what you're doing, and maybe a challenge you're facing, or I don't know, your teammates being annoying. How do you deal with that? I don't know, I'm making this up. But like, just there's different themes throughout that I think it's easy to talk to somebody else who is either going through the same thing or has been through it. There's just something nice about that.
Yeah, it's like we kind of know the areas, where we need to maybe motivate a little bit, or maybe need to back off, or just be there. It's similar enough in all of these different areas where I think we can kind of be that rock for the other person and sort of genuinely know what they're feeling. Because sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. It's just you kind of want someone to understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And just sort of be in the same place. And I think we feel that a lot with each other.
I always find it funny when we'll use like injuries. That's like a safe one to use. It's like, let's say she came home and she's like, oh, I have to have surgery on my knee, and she's bummed about it. And I'm like, listen, it's going to be fine. You're going to go through it. It's going to be the rehab. And then it will be like a week later, I'm in the same boat, and I'm like, it's fine. It's fine. It's like I can't even listen to my own advice. We're like giving each other the same advice, but like not listening to it, but listening to it. It's actually pretty funny.
It is. Actually, that is really funny.
It's like in the same breath of like me telling her like, your knee's going to be fine. The next day I'm like, oh my God,
I'm never going to play again.
Yeah. It's like you can't listen to your. It's actually pretty.
Thought about that.
Oh, I think about that all the time.
That is so true.
I'm like, here I am freaking out, and I told you not to freak out like a week ago.
It's actually like all of the advice we give each other.
It's
just like our pendulum just swings. It's like either one of us is up here or the other one, but we always seem to balance it out, which is nice.
Well, and with that balance, has it been hard to keep the separate entities separate and then obviously your relationship together? Because I'm sure, you've got your own regiments, your own training staffs, your own, what you need to do. Or is there pressure of like, no, you really should try my massage therapist, or like,
I think we more.
I feel like I'm really regimented and she's really easy, but what we want to get accomplished is the same. So I feel like it's definitely like you've come over to my schedule.
I was like, ooh, what are you doing? Who's that? What are you doing?
Because I'm definitely more like,
yeah.
And you're kind of just like easygoing about it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, actually, I think we should do this. And you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of meshed in this, and now we're just like in a routine that works.
Our seasons are in, the same time during the year, so our off seasons are sort of similar. It's kind of like we're training at the same times, and we need to like work out in the mornings, and et cetera. So our schedules actually match up incredibly well for both sort of being professional athletes. Our seasons, like I said, at the same time. So it just kind of works. We sort of are doing the exact same thing. We're just on different teams. Yeah.
Are you guys competitive like at home? Like, do you guys have games that you play together? Do you play sports? Like, do you ever get out on the soccer pitch, or do you ever like let's shoot hoops? Or you're like, no, we'll take this to the tennis court, like even ground. Like, is there any of that? Or you're like, no, we don't want to.
We're not really competitive.
We're not really that competitive.
We haven't. I played basketball a little bit. Well, you played soccer as well. But basketball's just easier to like go and play, or if she's shooting or something. So I like to get in there and kind of like
to the gym.
Mess around. But it's like quickly put in my place. I can shoot a little bit, but we've had like a couple like, oh, let me like guard you 1v1. I'm like, oh my God, this is bad. Let's not do that. But it's not really competitive, I think.
Yeah, it's more like,
I think
we honestly
neither.
Can't stop laughing.
Yeah. I'm like, oops. I'm like a giggle monster every time. I just think it's like,
forgot where you were?
I
forgot where you were. You're doing a great job. Look how relaxed she is.
Yeah, exactly. Neither of us are really like super competitive in that way. Like, I don't know, with like games
I think that's
or
the
like
one thing
friends
I actually can leave at the gym.
Yeah, neither of us really are like into that.
Yeah, it's like you're competitive in practice, you're obviously competitive in the games, and like there's like a level of focus required to be at that level. And so I think when you're home, it's really easy to be like, and shut that off.
Oh, so beautiful move and score.
Both your teams are off to great starts this season so far. Kind of touch on.
We're really relaxed right now because if you caught us this time last year, it might have been a little different.
How great is it, to be off to good, solid starts?
It is. Winning makes everything so much better.
Winning does make everything so much better.
Do you guys watch each other's games? Do you make every single one? Okay, so
yeah, we have season tickets to each other's teams. And whenever if I'm in town, I go. Same for Megan. If not, we're on our little apps watching from afar.
Yep, on the iPad.
And we've got the upcoming Rainstorm series coming up. Honest feelings on each other's teams. Like, are you guys going to be able to make runs? Like, are they going to win the title this year? And
Yeah, they're. I mean, you're looking poised. They're poised to do it. I think. Yeah, it's funny how when you're in a season, like both of our seasons last year were on the more frustrating side. A lot happened. You guys didn't even make the playoffs, right? We made it but lost. So I don't know. It's interesting to have seasons like that, and then when you're in a season where things are actually clicking and going, it makes you look back and be like, oh, that was really hard, and this actually, this is how it should be. And I don't know. It just gives you this whole different perspective. So I look at your team now, after watching for a year last year and being like, oh, like this is okay. I get what it's supposed to look like.
This makes more sense.
Yeah,
now.
this makes more sense. So you guys seem like you're clicking.
all right. And Sue's team, how are they going to do this year?
I think really well. They can score,
answer.
which is great. They're a lot better on defense. They're just like more active and kind of like more tenacious this year. Sue's just pulling all the strings, and Stewie and Joel are a year older and a year mature and a year better. So get those guys clicking, and I mean I could go on and on. I love it. I'm like totally into the Storm now. Have my season tickets. I'm like can't wait for the games.